Stop disrespecting your creativity. Okay? Like, we need to stop forgetting about creativity because of daily things. We all are always going to have to do daily things, but that doesn't mean we stop being creative, because as humans, that is something so important, where our soul gets to shine, that we can't just let it go. We need to take up space, we need to go. And then we realize that taking up space is not even just about creativity, it's actually about all the areas in our lives. It's the way that we honor our muses, our ancestors, our humble hearts. And ask yourself, what's in your soul? Were you meant to be a robot? I mean, even AI is taking all the art made by humans and just giving it new forms, and obviously that's not creating from scratch. You are the source, and you're not doing it for AI. But I mean, don't you want to know what's inside you? Don't you want to share with the world? We all need it. That's why we love to consume art, we love to watch movies, we love to read books, we love to look at paintings, we love to listen to music. It really helps to flow with our emotions. So when we are creating, I mean, we also know what it is to be someone on the other side who is really feeling it, who is really needing it at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day. Doesn't matter when, we always need to connect to something higher than ourselves, because otherwise it just becomes like the daily mundane routine. And even that can be beautiful in and of itself. But I think art just seems to get an octave of expression there that just feels way more natural, way more. It's like we go into the depths of our subconscious, like it's doing sometimes even therapy. So I really think that art is a reflection of where we are as humans, the same way we see evolution in science. Sometimes we see trends coming back in art, sure. Um, just like sometimes you see diseases come back. I don't know why I made this. This was supposed to be a metaphor, whatever. Um, I just really wanted to make a point for art today, for creativity, for just giving it a moment. And I thought that it felt powerful to me, the whole stop disrespecting, because it does deserve respect, it does deserve a place in daily life. And I'm not saying that people don't really pay attention to art, I just think that sometimes we are so perfectionistic about the way that things should come out. And I'm not saying we shouldn't care about the way that it can be presented. There's obviously value in refining, but sometimes it's just a shield to stop us from actually expressing ourselves, because it might hurt too much to write certain things. And sometimes that's exactly the cure that we need in order to move forward with something. Sometimes we just need to tell a certain story because it's repeating inside ourselves, and then maybe we even repeat it in our lives because we have not yet gained consciousness over it. We haven't become conscious of it. So it's really like doing therapy. um, it's just very intuitive, very personal. um, some people might share their art with therapists. I remember doing that once when I was in therapy, and it was interesting. But at the end of the day, I think it's just great to also have another layer of therapy where you stop actually caring what people are going to think about, and you just post, you just create, you just put it out there. Because if you don't, it's like you're still in overthinking mode, you're still in fear mode. And fear is like the worst enemy of creativity. because you're like in survival mode. That's not what you need. With although problem resolution, there's it's just different. It's it's not the same. Or you can write about fear. You can write about the fears that you feel. They from personal experience, I can say sometimes that is really comforting because you become the observer instead of being in it. And then it's like, if your characters can do it, why can't you? It's like, it's almost like a contract of like, if you make them do it, then you have to do it yourself as well. Um, but you can also just go into your whole main character vibe and be like, now I'm gonna post on Instagram 3 times a week. And if you don't feel comfortable with Instagram, you just do it with some other platform. If you don't like social media so much, you can just try something else. Get creative with it. Um, there are so many avenues that you can take. It's really about seeing sometimes even the potential that we have, because sometimes it's in boredom, in chaos, that we really dig up a lot of imagination, ideas. But obviously we need the discipline to ground it. That's why we shouldn't really wait for the muses. We need to show up at our desks, or just go into nature and bring a notebook and allow things to flow. But you actually made the moment happen. It was like scattered, and then you just captured it. And so I guess this whole message is about capturing it. I'm telling you to capture it like you're fishing, but for your own creative side. It could be dancing, it could be singing. Maybe there are so many issues. Instead of, for example, complaining about something, because sometimes it's really easy to get in that energy. Sometimes if we just flow the energy in some art forms, like, I don't know about you, but I just sometimes it just completely changes my mood. Of course, if there's something, a root cause that you need to address, I'm not saying you avoid it. I'm just saying that it makes you have better thinking, clearer thoughts, because you're allowing the emotions to pass. So then you can actually address things, maybe even in an intuitive way. Maybe you wouldn't have thought about it if you'd just gone for it like a bullet. So if you can find at least one day of the week where you can schedule 1 hour just for yourself, where you get creative in whatever way you want. If there are several, then schedule a bit more. But I'm just trying to be realistic, because sometimes time is not that available. So we need to be the ones to make the time, because it might never seem like it's available. And even if people are waiting for retirement to get creative, first of all, we never know if we're going to make it to retirement. And second of all, it's not like then it's just going to be a miracle, because you might not even get used to it and then you get caught up in your head. So the problem will always be the same, because we're afraid of expressing our innermost self. We judge ourselves too much. We lead with the mind too much, when sometimes the heart is actually what we should be listening to. Because if you have the facts, I mean, anyone can, if everyone would probably make the same decisions with facts. But then what separates us is really what our values are, what our instincts are, what our desires are. So creativity basically shows that. It's like, that's how we actually get to see who we are, without all the expectations, without all the machinery that we create in our mindsets. The machinery kind of thinking, for example, that we need to produce, we need to just always be doing instead of being for a little bit. And creativity allows us to just be, and to actually discover who's behind even any masks that we might wear. consciously or unconsciously, and so take up space. It's good. I mean, you're only alive once. Take up space.